When I was asked to make this presentation, I took a deep breath and then I paused. I could not exhale because what am I going to do on this occasion? Then I took the time to read over the theme. And the theme says again, let the illuminating energy of pure reason produce complete freedom from glamour and reveal the pure love of divine relations. As I examined very carefully the theme, I realized, there are three things happening here. There are two virtues and there is one flaw. The flaw is glamour. And then I quickly realized I have an angle to this thing. What is it? The flaw is glamour. And in organizations, the greatest enemy is glamour, because most of us, whenever we enter the arena of service, it's about me, 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 and my ideas, only to find out over time and experience, you fool, it's not about you. And I realized then I could now talk about Le Passerelle Globale. And in doing so, I started looking for ideas. And one idea that came to me that comforted me was that spiritual living and true spiritual understanding includes every aspect of plain physical expression and not simply the religious or the philosophical mode of thought. And it continues. Spirituality covers every phase of living experience. That's found in one of our books. That thought gave me the means with which to persevere. Then I looked up at this month's keyword. The key phrase for this month is, I see, and when the eye is open, all is light. Bingo. I could find some light with which to make this presentation. Hence the title, Externalizing an Educational Aspiration. Le Passerelles Globale-BRIDGES is truly an educational aspiration. And what do I mean by that? It is a nonprofit organization. And do you know that nonprofit organizations have no owners? It's the beehive, it's the handtill, and all the other groups coming together, working passionately in service to ensure the well-being of the group and of the organization. Let's look at the name, Le Passerelles Globale-BRIDGES. Le Passerelle is French. It means an opening door, making an entrance, and I'm loosely translating for you. And of course, global means the world. When we started out, we meant to use the word bridges, but because we live in a two-system language situation, French and English, we're in Quebec, French is the official language, we have to honor and respect the law. We needed to have a French name, hence Le Passerelles Globale. And bridges, we decided to use that because the word pont, P-O-N-T, is dull. So bridges became the name, but we use bridges, therefore, as is an acronym, an acrostic, which I will explain later. But what I found out as I researched is the word passerelle has a connection to the cardinal cross, because the meaning of the cardinal cross is the gate stands open. This gave me more enlightenment to realize that we were on a true spiritual journey expressing itself as a physical service. Then we have our logo. If you look at our logo, the logo really does exemplify the bridge. But the logo, as you notice, has a shape, it's a color, and it's all symbology. What can we read into this? And as I researched, I found a meaning. It says, an outward and visible manifestation of a spiritual reality, a geometric form with an underlying esoteric meaning. And as such, it allows for the building of patterns while expressing the significance of intention. Before telling you anything more about Le Passerelles Globale, you've already seen intention, and you have also seen meaning from the name itself, reflected both in the logo and in the words or the title. When we look at symbol, what is a symbol as we're being explained to us? It has an esoteric and an exoteric manifesting means of saying what it is as a language. Not just that, we have senses, and our six senses will help us to develop the conceptual realized meaning of the logo and of the name title. It has a shape, it has color, it has feeling, and it inspires us towards action. As we continue to examine color and form, and by the way, Letters on Occult Meditation is one of the books that I used in helping me to come up with this understanding. Color, we're told, veils. Color represents sound, represents energy, represents light. We have our rays. We're told in the development of rays that there are major rays and minor rays, and the minor rays have colors, and the major rays have colors. But how these colors express within the human faculty, it's dependent upon our astral bodies. What's our level of consciousness? What is our mood? What is our emotional state? What is the state of our desire and the purity of our desires? So, as I'm presenting to you, we see that La Passerelle Globale has not only a physical manifestation, but it came from an internalized veiled form, which has expressed itself through a service that we now deliver. Let's move on to our stakeholders. We'll talk some more. Let's move on to our next. And I'm not sure, thank you. It says here, it's an all manifesting itself in spiritual action. So what we're seeing here, as I've said before, is that La Passerelle Globale is expressing itself through a manifestation of spirit into the physical form. And may we go on to the next frame, please. Thank you. This I have just talked about, and it is there for you to mull over again. So may we move on to the next frame, because I want to keep time. Who are we? And we have it written down there for you. We are here as a group of goodwillers, people of goodwill and compassion, wanting to do a service to others. But we have to be very careful here, because while we're wanting to do a service for others, are we really wanting the service for others or for ourselves? May we move on. Now, where are we doing the service? In countries with political beliefs. We have stakeholders. And before we go in clearly into the stakeholders, let's talk about the continent of Africa and Canada, a subcontinent or a part of a continent. Africa is a continent with 54 sovereign states. 29 of these countries speak French. 21 of these countries have French as their official languages. In Canada, as you see, we have provinces and territories. French is the official language of Quebec. 72.3 million people in Canada speak French. And while it is the dominant language and the official language in Quebec, it is respected by the federal law. And as a result, French is accommodated in every province and territory of Canada. And there is an Office Le Français in each territory or province that ensures that this idea of inclusiveness of English and French do work. May we move to the next frame, please? So then what's the problem? Why do we want to go to Ghana to help with French? Here we have Quebec. We are from Quebec. And Quebec influenced us in this manner. As we continue to develop our discussion, you will realize that Quebec was once an English colony. even though it was founded by the French. And over time, in the 60s, 70s, the Quiet Revolution and the October Crisis, French became the dominant language of the people in Quebec and became the official language. Now, Ghana is in another position. 1 to 5% of all Ghanaians either speak, read, write, or have studied French. This puts Ghana in a very poor position from the point of view of relationships with its neighbors. Because as you noticed before, there are 29 countries in Ghana, in Africa, speaking French, and 21 that have that language as their official language of commercial and economic trade. Ghana, who is now trying to be a part of this market, is finding itself falling behind. Ghana is surrounded by 3 French-speaking countries. It is surrounded by Togo to the south, Burkina Faso to the north, and Côte d'Ivoire, or Ivory Coast, to the west, or to the north. We find here then that to trade and to become a viable sovereign state, you need to be able to speak the languages of the culture around you. So what Ghana has done is that the government of Ghana has decided that yes, English is our colonial and dominant language or commercial language. Yes, we have 51 official languages in our country, but in order to remain viable and a part of the force of economic development in Africa and the rest of the world, we now need to make French an official language in Ghana. And so the law has been recently passed, not more than a year ago, that French is now the 2nd official language in Ghana. May we go to the next frame, please? What do we do as a result? Here are some of the things we do. We create leadership groups. For example, what we do have in Quebec and Canada right now is an incorporation. We are incorporated in Canada as La Passerelle Globale-BRIDGES, and we are in Quebec as La Passerelle Globale. So our functioning name is La Passerelle Globale. And what we have done here is to form an organization in order to do the things that we say we have just shown you on the screen. We also are incorporated in Ghana. We have an office there, and that's where our projects are currently working. With a group of 8 people, we have a board and executive members who are seeing to the development of this project in Ghana under the headings that we have shown you there, plus other headings that are not there. For example, we have teachers, we call them tutors because they're not certified teachers, but because they are fluent French speakers, they are used in the education system, public and private, to teach French. Now, they are at a disadvantage because they are first in as wanting their service. They're very poorly treated. And in the private system, for example, they are sometimes not paid because they have no certification. And many of them are not local Ghanaians either. So what we have done to remediate this problem is that we have offered to help our volunteers, our tutors, or our teachers to become certified in French as a 2nd language and to have the best possible, newest and best practices in French or teaching the language to whomever they will be teaching, which at this present time will be mostly children. Later,
Marion, I hate to do this because this is so wonderful and I want to be able to keep you going, but I am just watching the time.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. That's perfect. That's why one of the reasons that you're there. So I will move on very quickly to the part that maybe I started giving you a little history. A brief history is that because I lived in Quebec for 50 years, when Quebec went through the Quiet Revolution, went through the October Crisis, and the transformation from English as the dominant language to French as mother tongue language, I lived through that experience and I was able to glean all that experience to now take to a foreign country. And this is the backbone of what we are doing. So please move on for the sake of time. Now, our business plan. For everything that we do, we have to have a plan. And I played on the word because in our organization, we're always being told about the divine plan. But in the esoteric life and in the exoteric life, we need a plan also. So here we have a plan with a mission, a vision. We have goals and objectives, and we have a group. The group is needed to work together, understanding, buying into the vision, the mission, the values, and the plan to ensure that we can, as a group, manifest our intentions. And that is French as a support language in Ghana. Now, I thought about it from the side of discipleship. If we look again at the plaques that I've just presented in this slide, again, it's about service and it's about sacrifice. It's about, again, not letting glamour guide us. How do we put the person aside and put the vision in front? And how do we let soul and intuition guide us? Both aspects are needed in the physical life and in the life of the disciple. And as we move forward, we will move on to the next. What is the promise? What are the possible outcomes? The possible outcomes of all of this is to develop power for right spiritual instinct, purity of vision and action through alignment, perception and that underlies purpose, increased creativity, intelligence, obedience to the plan. These are the possible outcomes. And finally, I will say that human rights relations, group endeavor, goodwill, knowledge, humanity, prosperity, and compassion will be the illuminating factors, some of them, that will guide us both as in discipleship and in service. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Wow, Madam Marion, bless you, thank you. And I'm sorry to have rushed through this.
Oh, sorry.
No, because really this is a beautiful illustration of what esoteric work is and what discipleship work is, where the vertical arm has to be exactly married with the horizontal, and we're right at the center is where this planning takes place.
Thank you.
And so really that's, in a way, for the whole group, if we take this as a symbol of a co-worker serving from the reality of her life. It's interesting that I noticed you have family connections with Ghana.
Yes.
So everything about the skills that have been acquired through your life, teaching French, teaching, and a relationship with Ghana have found expression through this project. So bless you, thank you.